Oh, for crying out loud, you've been staring at that light for hours now. Hours!
What?
Why don't you do something more productive with your life? There's a big world out there, you know.
Oh, leave me alone. I like watching the light. It's how I relax. I was only born today. I've got my whole life ahead of me. Unlike you miserable old git.
Wrong.
What? What's wrong?
You're wrong. You're a mayfly.
So?
The lifespan of a mayfly is only 24 hours, so you, my young friend, your life will be over before you know it. And what have you done with your limited time?
Stared at a light?
Yeah, stared at a light.
I don't believe you. You're winding me up. What a rotten thing to say. Oh, you're an evil old blue bottle.
Believe what you want, mayfly. I may be an evil old blue bottle, but I'm a blue bottle with a life expectancy of 3 weeks.
What? How come you get 3 weeks and I only get a day?
Genetics, mayfly. Genetics. Oh, yes, your blue bottle is a more advanced species than a mayfly in nearly every way. In fact, I think I would go as far to say...
Oh, I think I'm having a heart attack.
Hi, I'm Zombie Thumb. How are ya? You're too weak. Whoa! What is wrong with you? Now, whoa! Now, sir! Crazy! Someone help me!
When I was about 15 years old, my friend asked me to come fishing with him. Now, it might sound silly, but I wanted to go more than anything. Not because I liked the thought of fishing, in fact, it sounded boring to me. I wanted to go because I was afraid. Open water doesn't scare me, and neither do sea creatures, well, maybe a little bit. But what terrified me most was actually fishing. I didn't know how. It's not something I love talking about, and I was scared it might come up in conversation, but my father wasn't exactly around to teach me. In those days, and in that town, to not fish was to not be a man. Of course I was scared, and that's exactly why I had to go. So I picked up my father's old hat and fishing rod, and I remember looking at my reflection in the water and remembering the last thing my father told me. You've only got one life, so go and risk it. It took me a few years before I actually understood what he meant. I don't actually think he wanted me to jump in front of buses or join the armed forces or anything, but I realized everything's a risk. Getting married, having kids, even crossing the street. To not take a risk is to not live at all. So I'm going to say it one more time to see you off. You've only got one life. Go and risk it.